Wow. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We couldn't think actually about a better way to start this year's WinCC User Days than with some famous Viennese waltz. So I hope you agree to that. A warm welcome from my side to my hometown, Vienna. For those who don't know me and haven't attended the last year's User Days, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Bernd Stauffer. I'm the head of business development for SIMATIC SCADA. And my new partner here on stage is
Frank Bardach. I'm the head of product management and marketing and promotion, and I have the honor, together with my colleague Bernd, to guide you through this morning.
So, speaking about you, ladies and gentlemen, our guests, it's really great that during the last years we could really see building up a community which is getting bigger and bigger, as you can see this year. Many guests and partners and customers who have traveled each year from all around the world to participate in this great event.
So let's have a look how many customers and partners from various countries around the globe joins this year's User Days.
So let's start first with who are our friends and colleagues from the US who have traveled almost 10,000 kilometers. Please get up. Let me see you. Where? Oh, yes. Very good. But there's a group which traveled slightly longer, and this is our partners and friends from Korea. Korea, where are you? Please get up. And finally, the partner who have traveled the longest is actually a new one in this room. It's coming from Mexico. It's JC Diaz. Carlos, I know you're here. Where are you? Hola! Though they haven't traveled that far, but there's a lot of partners here from the Middle East and Europe. So let me see you. Get up, please. Get up. Where are the guys from Europe and Middle East? Yes.
Hey.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Those who have already been here know that it's a tradition to start with our keynotes. Besides the new feature of our new version 3.16, which was released on last Friday to the market, we will also disclose a brand new technology based on our amazing SCADA product. In the 3.16, there have been so many new features that it's close to impossible to demonstrate all inside my product management pitch. And therefore, I'm really glad to have won my colleagues as well here on stage to give you some demonstration about these new features. But of course, the keynotes in the morning are only one of many highlights of this year's User Days. Bernd, what else can our customers expect?
Well, that after the keynotes in the morning, traditionally we leave in the afternoon the stage here for our partners. And we have selected this year 6 different partners who will show us their quite impressive work on projects they have done or technology they have used based on WinCC OA. Hopefully, those presentations will bring a lot of questions and feedback from your side. This is the reason why we will have our Q&A session with all the speakers of the day back on stage at the end of the day. However, if a question pops up in your mind, it might not be the right moment to interrupt the speaker, and for this, we have actually prepared a Q&A tool like every year, and Frank will quickly guide you how to use that Q&A tool.
Yes, that's right. You can find the question and answer tool inside our mobile event service. Do not hesitate to try out the mobile event service. Inside, you can see all the event details. You can contact other participants and ask questions. We will collect all those questions during the day and will answer them in our question and answer session. If you need help, feel free to approach one of us. We will be more than happy to assist you. By the way, assistance. Have you ever heard about Franz and Sissi? This was the most popular and best known couple in Austrian's history. And now, only 120 years later, we would like to introduce to you our WinCC. Please come on stage. Please welcome
Let us
our
have applause.
WinCC. She will assist you during the whole day and the evening regarding organizational questions, like where do I have to go next, where does the tram leave, or where do I find the location which is managed in the agenda. She also will be available for you during the evening event for taking pictures with her, maybe in front of our evening location or at the photo booth. So don't be shy to contact her.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready, we are ready. And now let's plunge into the first morning keynote speech. I would like to welcome with me here on stage the CEO of ETM, Mr. Bernhard Reichel. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernhard Reichel, please. Okay, come. Oh.
Thank you, Bernhard. I'm always coming from behind.
Du bist es.
Hello. I also want to welcome you here in Vienna, and we welcomed some of the partners who come from very far, but we forgot one very important group. We took the opportunity today, since we are in Vienna, to invite not only you to come here, but also all our employees coming from Eisenstadt and are here today. And I would also ask, stand up. Most of them are on the gallery, so you will not see them directly, but you see we are quite a lot of ETM guys here. And I also want to welcome Mr. Kurt Hofstetter, who is the head of DF from Siemens Austria here, and he will join us the whole day long, I hope so. I would like to start with some interesting news from our Siemens headquarters, which underlines also the important role of ETM and the know-how of our sales team. Our business organization, the factory automation, has decided to strengthen software sales within their already strong sales organization to reflect the new trends in digitalization. And this is the reason that they founded a new department called Digital Sales and Services. And the head of this new department is Michael Steigberger. Sorry. This is the wrong direction. Michael Steigberger looks different, I think. Let's see where it... I'm not sure which face you like more. Yeah. Sorry to say. Yeah. DSS will focus on digital solutions, digital services, and this is very important for us, also SCADA software sales. And this SCADA software sales will coordinate all sales forces out in the regions in direction of SIMATIC SCADA software. Head of this new department, now it's the right direction, will be Bernd Stauffer. You already saw him and know him. Bernd is not another very talented guy from ETM who will cooperate with the Siemens colleagues. This new setup is much more. Our well-known WinCC OA business development team becomes also responsible for the complete SIMATIC SCADA portfolio and will not sell WinCC OA only in the future. You can see this is a very big change for ETM and chance for us also, of course, and I'm sure pushing SIMATIC SCADA will also push ETM's success in the future. Since the last user days, we got 2 interesting awards. At Los Angeles, we received the US BIS Award, the Wirtschafts-Oscar, exactly the same evening when the real Oscar celebration ceremony was celebrated in Los Angeles. And 5 days ago, the Austrian Minister of Economy and Research awarded ETM as well. Both awards we achieved because we invested heavily in innovation topics. And for sure, we spent really a lot of energy in innovate WinCC open architecture in order to offer you the best SCADA product in the world. Since the last user days, we developed plenty of innovations. As Frank already told, there are so many new things that only limiting this to his speech would not be possible, so Bernd Stauffer and me took over some of the presentations of the new features as well. The first I will present by myself. The next topic Bernd will present. He will show you a use case, a digitalization use case in the infrastructure market, and he will demonstrate how tightly and perfectly WinCC OA and Tier Portal can collaborate. And after the coffee break, Frank will not only present the new 316, but give you a short demonstration in, I would say, development support. Now you may ask, when I speak about Frank, what happens to our former product manager? Many of you know Lukas Schopp, who normally is at the stage. Lukas left ETM, but founded his own company's Loop Tools, and he did not leave the WinCC OA community. He is still there, and he will have a talk afterwards in the afternoon with some very interesting offerings, I think, for all of you. Let's start with some innovations. Nowadays, there are many technologies like JavaScript and HTML5, which enables customers by using these technologies to create fancy user interfaces. And I'm happy to announce that we have found an interesting and smooth way how we can combine WinCC OA scripting, our famous control scripting, with JavaScripting in the same user interface. And I would like to show you how this works. Now I'm not on the right screen. Wait a moment. Now we need, can you help us from the technique? No. This is the wrong one. This is also the wrong one. I want to see what is on this screen. We want to do a live demonstration? No. Okay, sorry. So I have to tell you what this JavaScript innovation can do. There is now the possibility that you can address with JavaScript the process image. You can get the data from the process image with dbget, dbconnect, and all these data point functions you already know. And you can animate JavaScript widgets by using JavaScript, but also using control. So you can change properties in JavaScript objects by control, but you can also change properties in control objects by using JavaScript. So now I can even not switch the screen. So wait a moment. So, and I think I will only show you this slide as my last slide. This would be the second demonstration. What we also did is we improved standard WinCC OA user interface functionality by introducing a chart widget, which you can use now to display, to present your data in nice diagrams like donut diagram, or radar charts, or even heat maps, or bubbles, and so on. All these functionalities you saw are now available in the version 3.16 and will be also introduced in the other user interfaces like our ULC UX and the mobile user interfaces in the next branch. I'm quite sad that I was not able to show you the live demonstrations. We will have, I hope, the opportunity in the other sessions that you can see it. And so I would like to close my talk. And at this moment, I'm sure we have some very interesting user days the next 2 days. I hope that the other presentations will work a little bit better. And I hope that I will have the opportunity to talk with as many as you in the next 2 days. Thank you for your attention.
Bernhard, just a minute. Thank you very much for your impressive demonstration. I also have to say sorry because I was so excited due to that it's my first time that we really made a small mistake in this presentation. But nevertheless, the demo Bernhard wanted to show you, we will show it inside the break, inside the coffee break later on. So we will have the chance to see what Bernhard wants to present to you. Now it's time to welcome on stage our Director of Business Development for SIMATIC SCADA, Bernd Stauffer, and he will show us how WinCC UA and digitalization in infrastructure markets will get together. Please give a big hand to Bernhard Stauffer.
Thank you, Frank. Well, the title says WinCC UA sales. Let me start that we had a fantastic year in Siemens and ETM with our SCADA products. All our SCADA products actually grew faster than the market in the last year, and WinCC UA in particular made again a 2-digit growth number. This is really, and we recognize that this is owned by your passion, by your confidence, and by your trust in our product. And therefore, let me say a big thank you in the name of Siemens and ATM for the last year. Thank you. And you'll know that we work and we love to work actually with our solution partners and OEM partners. And like every year, I also want to welcome this year, again, 15 new partners in our community. 50 new partners ranging from Spain, Italy, UK, US, Netherlands, Slovenia, Middle East, Dubai, and Russia. So, a warm welcome to those new partners in that community, and we're looking forward for having a great time together those 2 days and of course over the couple of next years. So thank you for joining our community. Oh my God, another speech about digitalization, right? That's what many of you might think now. And you're right, those days there's hardly any presentation, speech or event with Siemens where we don't bang on that buzzword. And I think it's rightful so. The only twist I want to give today is talking about how digitalization can be used and will be used in infrastructure. And I remember a year ago in the Amsterdam User Days last year, I had a conversation on a cruise boat with some nice wine with one of my colleagues from mobility, and we spoke about digitalization. He told me, listen, Bernd, I really don't understand this excitement about digitalization. Maybe this is something new for the manufacturing world. But we in infrastructure, we did it for many years. We do vertical integration, we do horizontal integration of various solutions, and pretty much this is always based on OA or SCADA in particular as a middleware. And yeah, he might be right, but I think and I hope I can give you some new ideas and twists and insights what we do at Siemens and ETM to make that even easier for you to do digitalization also in infrastructure, as most of you here from our partners around the world are really dedicated to serving infrastructure market segments. Now let's start with a question. Is there a role for SCADA in digitalization? Or you could even say, is there even a role for SCADA in the future? Well, we believe there is. What you see here is the traditional automation. You got your automation layer, RTUs, PLCs. You collect those data, you bring it to a SCADA server, you visualize, you control. Is that all? Will that be replaced by emerging technologies like IoT and edge computing? Maybe to a certain extent. But what we really believe SCADA is going to be, it will be the new glue actually to cloud computing, edge computing. It will be, I mentioned the word already, something like a middleware. It is there. People know how to use. People need that. And I'm proud to show you later on some thoughts about how those technologies can go together, particularly in infrastructure market. Now let you tell me something which is very well known within the factory automation community, and we're spreading the word to our partners as we speak here. It's what we call user scenarios. So we have been sitting together and say, okay, with all the portfolio we have, portfolio elements from hardware, software, what are those use cases we see in automation driving really digitalization? Where have we prepared products or solutions to support our partners in really becoming part of the digitalization in the solution they provide to their customers? And basically you see here 8 so-called use cases which have been defined, where are products and solutions behind which should help actually getting into this digitalization. And there's a few things I want to mention. Virtual commissioning, is that something we only need for a manufacturing plant, for machines, for lines? No, we can use that also in infrastructure. And I will show you what we have done to make this happen also in, for instance, tunnels. Energy management. Well, is that only in manufacturing? Are only machines consuming a lot of energy, electricity, and so on? No, think about pumping stations for pipelines. They consume enormous amount of electricity. So making savings there as part of a complete solution, digital solution for a customer, is very valuable for the customer. And I will touch on that later as well. And of course, then you have SCADA as being a part in the what we call transparent operation. The longest phase actually you have when you install. You might prepare a project, you design it, you engineer it, you test, you commission. It might take a year or 2 or sometimes even longer. But the longest period is really when your customer then operates his systems you have been put in place for him. And also there we'll show you what we can do. So the picture on a very simplified way, and I have used wind turbines as symbol for infrastructure market. That could as well be pipelines, could as well be road tunnels and whatsoever. You have your system, you have your SCADA system on top. You exchange also data into the cloud, and that might be the Siemens Cloud MindSphere. You have then additional apps running there, giving added value to your solution. So the whole thing becomes what? It becomes a hybrid solution. It becomes a hybrid solution based on what you have on premise, the things we're used to in this room, making SCADA systems, making fancy SCADA systems, but also including new technologies. Now let's go a little deeper into what does that mean. On the left side you have your SCADA system typically still on premise. Is that true? Well, I come back to that later. But what is it? It's basically a reliable connectivity to the process by the means of a lot of drivers and protocols. But you want to make sure you gather those data and you aggregate this data, of course, to historian data, and you store it. And finally, and that's the important thing, you're working here on a real-time acquisition. Your data are here in real time on premise. And then, of course, comes the aspect of security. Are my data secured? What do I want to do in the cloud? Want to give everything in the cloud? Probably not. But if you would now combine those two technologies, also the cloud opportunities coming up more and more, then I think you got really a big benefit also, because then you add value through the combination of what you do really in real-time data acquisition and maybe some transactional data you get from wherever into the cloud. And then you analyze and you try to loop back. So that's a quite useful use case, and we'll hear more a little later. Again, we call it actually a hybrid solution. Now we have spoken about MindSphere. MindSphere, the Siemens Industry Cloud, and how can you connect? Well, there's a lot of different opportunities, starting from function blocks in devices we supply up to dedicated nano boxes, etc., with gateways straight into the cloud, or even open controllers using them as gateways. But finally, and that's why we're here today, our SCADA products are also a source, and I think a very good source, for sending selected data into MindSphere. And for that, we'll announce today, later on, with Frank's speech, that we'll have, during the course of this year, a MindSphere connector natively within OA, where you can really decide on which data you want to send to the cloud for further treatment. And also this MindSphere connector will come on the version 7 later on also this year. So we're actually prepared not only for apps and a cloud service, but really also connecting our devices and software to the cloud and MindSphere. Now let's plunge into, yes, there are more functions on OA as well, which supports actually digitalization. And one we will show you later on is how we collaborate with the TIA engineering system. That's one thing, but the other thing is, and that will also be announced later, yes, we're working on launching an MQTT driver later this year. I mentioned already the MindSphere connector being ready to send data into the Siemens MindSphere cloud, and many other features actually, which will allow to use really OA as this kind of layer and gateway to digitalization. Now let's go into this transparent phase, in this operation phase, what we call transparent operation. Remember, that's the longest phase your customer is facing actually and working day by day with our solution. So what can we do? What is he interested? Actually, it should be really seen as a loop. First of all, you want to gather as much data, and that's the trend of the time, big data. You want to gather the maximum of your data from your devices. And again, forgive me, I've chosen here a wind park or wind turbine. So you get those data through a whole variety of protocols and drivers, which we supply today in OA. And as you know, and many of you know, and if there is not there, then you can make it yourself in OA. So no reason not to gather data you actually need. Now, once you have that up on your SCADA system, basically there are now two ways, either or you combine that on how you want to now analyze all that data you collected, or the most important one, and go from big data to smart data. What does that mean? Actually, it does mean that you have to get the data and then make sure you have the right tools and functions to really interpret where are the optimization potentials now in those data. Because having a lot of data doesn't mean that you can use it usefully. So you need definitely those pieces to make sure you can find those things you want to optimize. You want to optimize the optimum speed of your generator in the turbine and many, many other things maybe. So what helps here, of course, it's a lot of great and flexible trending functions which can be used on OA, on premise. You can, of course, and many of you do, use and work with our SCADA solution, which is based on a random forest algorithm to really make a kind of a self-learning system and interpret that system. And of course, later on this year, Siemens and Factory Automation also will launch a whole bunch of MindSphere applications, and some of those also go into this direction of analytics. So you have the choice, what do I want to actually treat in the cloud, what I want to treat on premise on top of my SCADA system. However, the ultimate result should then be that you loop back your optimization potentials you found, and you really close loop that back into your, in this case, wind park. And why? It's always about money. Minimize downtime, get the right and optimized maintenance in place, do energy saving, make sure your assets are very well managed, and at the end, of course, make sure you increase the TCO, total cost of ownership for your equipment. That should be the ultimate goal. So, transparent operation, remember, it's the longest phase your customer is working with the system, and we like to supply you the right product, the right tools, to even during that process permanently optimize actually the use of that system. So now let me show you 3 cases, real life cases. Before we go into that, a question. Anybody knows which city this is here on the left picture on the screen? Who said it? It's one of my guys, disqualified. Well, I might forgive him. He's not responsible for Italy. Yes, it's right. This is the city of Venice, actually, shot from the air. And what happened here is one of our OEM partners, IDEA in Italy, actually, they installed the first full cloud-based project with WinCC OA. It's a wastewater sewage plant in Italy, actually several plants spread out over Venice. I'm quite happy because then probably we can enjoy this city for another 100 years. I think 100 years back they just dropped the sewage water into the seaside, so also useful for the environment. Now, joke beside, what did those guys do? What they do is they took a WinCC OA server with about 20,000 IOs, a couple of ULC UX web clients, which are used on 3 different locations throughout the city by different groups who are actually monitoring that system. They connected roughly 200 PLCs and RTUs. Their whole trending and reporting is based on the SQL database, which is behind that, also running in the cloud. And the interesting thing is, all the drivers on this WinCC OA server, like the PLC drivers, RTU drivers, are running in the cloud. So there's not an instance based somewhere on a physical PC next to the plant. This is why they use 150 kilobyte per second bandwidth communication between the RTUs and even the user interfaces. So technically, it's really nice. What was the cloud configuration they used? They used a cloud provider called Aruba, a cloud provider in Italy for B2B cloud solutions, with about 2 CPUs on their servers, 8 gigabyte RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive, and the guaranteed availability of 99.8%, and all that for the cost of 200 euro per month as a managed cloud hosting. So it means they don't even have to take care about system updates of the operating system, backup, and so on. So, great. How was it done? Well, simply by installing the full instance of OA in the cloud. There was nothing actually ETM, and there's a lot of us here today, all our colleagues from development and from a technical department. There's nothing really we had to do to make sure OA is running fully in the cloud. Now, what was the partner business model? That's another interesting question, because many of you might think about, should I go in that direction? When do I have to go? When is this forced from my customer on me? And the interesting thing was that he was ready to share that value with us for roughly about 2,000 euros per month over a couple of years, where the contract's lasting. That included the original license fee from us, the engineering of the application, and the operation support and technical support throughout the contract period. So this is a very nice example on how to use WinCC OA fully in the cloud. Now you might have the question, okay, those guys bought the license. Is ETM and Siemens thinking also maybe changing a little bit the license model for the SCADA system? Yes, we're thinking, but at that moment, I don't have yet the ultimate answer for you. But be sure, we are very following close this kind of projects and also thinking internally with several groups on how could a business model or license model also look like in the future for this kind of solution. Now comes case number 2. SIMATIC, another OEM partner from Russia, also here today. And their main business is actually installing and engineering pipeline control systems for large companies. And you know, Russia is the biggest country in the world with regards to surface, and of course is one of the key producers of oil. So it's not a surprise that there's a high focus on this number one market in Russia. So what those guys actually did is they said, well, I have OA, and that's a wonderful system to do a pipeline operation system. But how can I add value with regards to digitalization? How can I use apps? Which apps do I need? Which vertical solutions can I develop on top of OA for my customer? Also, some of those functions are or have been heavily requested by a customer. And they said, well, we have done a full suite of vertical solutions on top, which I would think goes straight into this vertical integration in a digitalization, as we have seen on the blue chart before. So what they did, of course, a very nice leak detection, going for any kind of fluid you can imagine, a simulation model on what would be if. I think that's one of the essentials, particularly in the oil and gas industry. Peak and batch tracking, that's something interesting. Probably some of you know what a pig is. What does a pig have to do in the oil industry? Well, I learned this is like a big brush which actually runs through the pipeline, cleans the pipeline, and checks the condition inside the pipeline. So even there you want to be, where is that pig? What's the conditions he found there, and so on. So here another great application, digital application on monitoring this system and integrating it into my pipeline operation system. And I told you before the example of energy consumption in a manufacturing. So I learned that in the oil and gas industry, the energy costs you have as part of your total operation costs of a pipeline might be up even to something like 10% only for energy on the pumping stations. So saving there for 1%, we're talking here millions of dollars or euros. So again, think about the 8 use cases I presented you. Energy monitoring was one of them. Yes, it is a crucial element, not only for the safety environment, it's also really for saving money. And when you have a simulation model, easy, then it's not a far way actually to make that combined with your SCADA system into a trainings module. And the next thing, I think this is one of the key crucial things demanded by customers in an industry, that you have really a clear emergency protection. So if you have to run a shutdown by whatever incidents that could be, it has to be done in an extremely controlled way. Otherwise, you're throwing away maybe millions or billions of dollars, which the pipeline cost you. And to make the life of the dispatchers and operators easier, if you have various scenarios to automatically control your pipeline system and avoid human errors, again, this results in a great cost saving, and I think also in a very comfortable way. So this is another example of digitalization, what can be built actually with regards to vertical integration. Case number 3 is something where those who know ETM long is where we are coming from ETM. It's actually from the tunnel automation and visualization business. And that's why I'm very proud actually today to be here and to announce to you that yes, there is also a virtual commissioning case for digital tunnel. There's also a digital twin, not only for machines, but also for tunnels. So long before you might even, or the companies might even start drilling a hole in a mountain, you actually can have already done your digital twin of your tunnel. You have designed it, you can simulate it, you can even train on that. And to get some more help on explaining you what's really behind this, and this is a kind of a world premiere today, I have asked two of my colleagues from the Siemens headquarters, and I'd like to have Mr. Gebhardt, who is head of the tunnel automation business in Siemens Germany, on stage.
Good morning. Okay. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a pleasure to be here in front of you, our customer, our partner. And now I want to show you, want to give a short overview, really a management summary about our digital tunnel. But first of all, my name is Joseph Gebhardt. I'm heading the tunnel and metro business in the headquarter for digital factory automation. Or short, I'm from SIMATIC, and you know SIMATIC. So headquarter from SIMATIC, we are. And for tunnel metro business, we are responsible for the whole world. And and beside our, I think I can say, excellent product from SIMATIC, we have one clear goal also for our tunnel metro business. And this is our vision and our goal, how we can offer you more added value for you. Because we are product people, you are responsible for the solution. So we are do not working on solutions, we are only responsible for product for you to make a better solution. So this is our main goal, how we can offer you a maximum on added value. And till now we have we offer you for tunnel and for metro our product from SIMATIC. You can see our PLCs, our HMIs, and so on and so on. And you also can see the next one on the left side. This is a new 1500 R and H. Well, coming soon. What important. So, but beside our products, we always speak with you, with our customer, with our partner, and the feedback is also from our partner, what is for the future, what is important, beside excellent products, what is important for what you need, what you are looking for. So, and first is always the feedback in our customer meetings, security, especially for tunnel, for metro, security. The next is simulate. Customer ask, say, okay, how we can simulate, can you help me together with a SIMATIC product? So, and easy to use is one thing I think we are sure together, easy to use, always a big topic, shorter time to market, training with a digital twin. So we already work on it. Also in our machine builder business, digital twin, we really can save a lot of time and can improve our security. So at the end, time saving from design to service. We have a whole package. And this is a feedback, and this is what we're working on for the digital tunnel. In the middle of this is WinCC OA, always, for tunnel and for metro. So, and the summaries Mr. Stauffer already showed, the package from design to engineering, to commissioning, to simulation, to training, to all of this. This was our goal, to create and to work on a digital tunnel based on the SIMATIC products, based on WinCC OA, standard products, but really to bring more value add to you. And so a package for all phases to be more efficiency and to show a higher security. This was tasks. This is what we're working on. This is what we want to show you. And now I want to give you or want to show you a short film. We got it today night. It's a first draft, so it's a management film, first draft of management film, and now it's the first time we show it here, and later on, now colleague will show more. So, Bernd, this click.
One more time.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
You've already realized it. This is an important project. It's damn important. Costs, deadlines, safety. It also involves prestige. Do I know? No surprises, please. Yes, but how? Important project, of course. But how can I approach it? Actually, you should do it all in advance. Design, plan everything thoroughly. Tackle the engineering. Then you could tailor all the components to one another. Test everything virtually in advance. And even think outside the box. And a test run would be worthwhile too. But the whole thing also has to correctly operate at some point. And for that I need people who are familiar with the system. Specialists to oversee everything, who are there in case of emergency. Okay, and then the whole thing needs to be safe. Yes, that's how it can work. Boss, it's working. We'll get it done.
Siemens, ingenuity for life.
So, thank you very much. It was the first time, and it should go an overview about what we do, and in the future, then we also, all of this, what we show in our management film, we want to show you really in detail how we work on this and how does it works. So, but now I want to hand over to my project leader for the digital tunnel, Mr. Jan Drübenmacher. Welcome on stage. And thanks. So yeah, and he will give you more information about a little bit more details. Please, Jan.
Hello, good morning from my side. Thank you, Josef. Okay, so you already introduced me, so I'll just begin. The project Digital Tunnel, we can show all from the beginning, from the planning from the tunnel to the real tunnel, as we see here, and also recover the data back to the digital version. What's the benefit? Why should we use this? Okay, very often when I talk to the customers, they say, okay, we should minimize the downtime, the close time of the tunnel. So in the beginning, we can start in our comfort zone, in our office, to test the programs. We can create the tunnel data in our office. We can test it first there and bring it to the project in the end. So we minimize the downtime. It's also, very nice if we go, if we have a look for the maintenance. Maintenance, okay, we will change some parts every 2 years. Why should we change this? Isn't it much better, much more nice if we just change the products if we need to change? So predictive maintenance. All this we can show in our use cases with our standard products. So we just want to offer you the tools to handle the projects before you start in the field. Therefore, we start with just our standard products like Annex software to create the tunnel, with PLC Sim Advanced to test the program for the PLCs before. So all over the life cycle of the tunnel, we can use this digitalization. And also for trainings and so on, we can bring back the data to the digital tunnel and test it there. Okay, and in the middle of all this, we can show you first, sorry, I've forgotten one thing. You get the data from ePlan. ePlan, you can put all this data from ePlan directly into our in our TIA portal. You can bring your data directly in and use it there. And for TIA portal and WinCC OA, we will show you also our use case and our hands-on training with Martin Kumera. And I want to invite you to the fair as well. There we can show you all the different use cases from with NX, with all the testing programs that we can offer you to create your tunnel first. Thank you.
So also a very warm welcome from my side. I think some of you may already know me. My name is Martin Kumera, and I'm responsible for globally any pre-sales activities of WinCC OA. Yeah, I will show you now in reality, live, an essential part of the digital tunnel project. So let's switch from PowerPoint to reality. Okay. What you can see is I have already started TIA portal. And let's assume we have to add a new traffic light to our tunnel. I will simulate it here and create a new data block manually. Normally, this would have been done through the whole chain, what Jan has already presented. So via NX and the electrical engineering, and then imported in the TIA portal via interfaces like openness, for example. Okay. So as soon as our traffic light data block is created into Tier Portal, I can export the data directly to WinCC Open Architecture. Okay. So, just right-click on the PLC, export to SIMATIC SCADA, and I will put it directly into my project in the data directory, tier project. Okay. And export. So at this step we are done with Tier Portal. I will minimize it. As you can see, I have already started WinCC, my WinCC project in the background. I have already also started the Para module so that you can have a look and get an overview about the integration topics. I have already here prepared a main screen of my tunnel where I want to integrate the traffic light afterwards. So what we have to do is just go to System Management, S7, S7 Plus driver, go to Engineering and import the data. As you can see, there are some changes, obviously, in the traffic light node. I can expand it. Okay, here is my traffic light 2 I have created at the, newly here. I just move it on the import side, make a final check, and import it. If you have a look on the left side here, in the Para, you see automatically here a new instance of my traffic light was created. And it is automatically completely engineered. So the only thing what I have to do now is just to drag it from Para put it in my main screen, and that's it, and run my tunnel. And as you can see here, I have my instance of the traffic light, which is also working. So well, I have shown you now in very few steps a highly automated engineering process. But this engineering process is based on standardization and object orientation from the planning phase through the engineering to the final tunnel. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Jan, and my colleagues from headquarters, Josef, as well. I think, keep in mind what you have seen here, the whole value chain, the products we offer to do all that things from the TA importer like Martin presented to the virtual commissioning and so on. You can, I think, very easily imagine, for those of you who are not working actually in the area of traffic and transport, that this can also, of course, be used for wind turbines, power plants, or whatever actually I want to build first on my digital twin, later on go through virtual commissioning, and then really put it in the real world. So I hope that was some food for thought for you this morning, and with that, I'd like to say thank you. Frank.
Thank you. Thank you, Gebhard, Jan, Martin, and Bernd. I have to say, a headquarter guy never shows up alone.
What?
But thank you very much about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have been the first audience worldwide which participated in an official announcement about the Digital Tunnel 2.0. And I have to say, as a product manager of WinCC OA, I'm very excited about this, to see that WinCC OA becomes an essential part of Siemens solution businesses. Please could you switch the beamer? So what I also would like to remind you is that we have a mini fair upstairs. There you can watch the variety of partner solutions displayed as live demos. They are presenting their solutions with WinCC OA, and looking forward to see you over there, especially in the break. We will meet here again in 20 minutes sharp to continue with our keynote speeches.